All right, Halos, welcome back. Uh-oh, I pressed a button. Um, we are going to be doing a quick rundown of what happened on the Swiss stage. Let me get back to where we were at a second ago. But basically, we were able to see most of the games on day one and most of the games on day two. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get videos out exactly right after the games like we had kind of hoped, but that's not a big deal because we'll just do a quick rundown and recap of what we thought so far. But we got Drew here once again. What's up, Drew?
What's up? Yeah, surprisingly, when the games happen in Korea, they're at crazy times for us here. Who knew?
Yeah, who would have thunk?
Who knew?
All right, but anyways, we're just gonna go through the Swiss bracket and how it went a little bit here today. So I gotta find out where I was because I accidentally pressed a number and it jumps to a certain part of the video if you press a number on YouTube. So
Oh, yep. That's a good
yeah,
feature. Good
yep,
feature.
it's classic. Just like when I maximize the screen and everything. Actually, this is a
Yep.
good thing though because I don't know if you guys saw the very beginning, but I wanted to say that quick spoiler if you haven't seen the game so far, we are going to be taking a look at the Swiss bracket stage, which is going to be spoilers of all the last 2 days. So um, click
Yeah.
away as I get there.
Don't look at this. Don't look
Yeah,
at this if you don't want to be spoiled.
exactly. Just black out your screen real fast. But yeah, anyways, we'll kind of go top to bottom from left to right, I think. Um,
Yeah.
so. Uh, Go ahead and open us up with the T1 TL or yeah
Okay.
matchup.
Yeah. So, uh, I did my homework. I took notes on all the NA games.
Oh,
So
nice. Okay.
it was a lot closer. I thought this was going to be a stomp.
Yeah.
It was way closer, but I just thought it was really. I don't know if you agree or did. So this is my very simple analysis. I thought TL played pretty well as a team.
hmm
I actually think they might have played better as a team than T1, like teamwork wise. But
Yeah, I would
I
agree.
think T1 just has much better players, and that eventually just won them the whole game. Um, Piosik was like really good. I was super surprised. I think he
Yeah.
got like a world's buff. I was like, where has this guy been the whole year? Um,
Yep, that's what they were saying.
and the only other thing I thought was weird, I did not like Aphelios for Ion. Thought that was
Yeah.
a weird pick.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, because I think I would have to see the draft again, but I'm pretty sure they could have picked um, maybe not, but yeah, I felt like there were other ADCs that he could have picked. Other Aphelios feels like a hard one, but
hmm
yeah, those are my initial thoughts. Obviously, you see here T1 was the victor. They had like a really nice team fight to win the game. It
Yeah,
was
actually. Let me
it
pull up
was
the VOD. We can get through the get a little bit of
I think they
champ
were actually
select
working out really well there.
kind of here. Here we go.
Mid or melee support to try and play.
And getting that one stacked up.
yeah.
Zeus
So
might be
I'm
drawn.
not sure why they didn't pick.
You were
Yeah, like
saying
all
what for him?
Zaya, and
Oh yeah, true.
they could have picked Zaya or they could have picked Kaisa. They were both up,
Yeah.
right? And I think they're both really good.
I think so. I think they actually yeah, they got the counter pick, right? No, they didn't get the counter pick. TL counter picked, right?
TL picked into Ash and Renata. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, yeah. TL got the counter pick on the
Yeah.
ADC, so that's definitely interesting. Um, I don't 100% know the exact counters to Ashe, just off the top of my head, but yeah, the Alphelios definitely didn't look very good, like you were saying. Um, I definitely would have liked something better. Like you said, the Xayah was open. Looks like even Kai'Sa was open, no? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They both seem to be the preferred two, and
Yeah.
it's weird that I'll bring this up again in the next TL game, but it's weird. It's weird that they didn't pick one of those two. I actually think Zaya would have been really good here because you could avoid the Ash engage or the Sejuani engage
Yeah, the
if you're
Orianna ult as
honestly
well.
like an Oriana. You could just avoid a lot of stuff if you were Zaya. So
Yeah, the only thing I would say about Xayah and Ashe are they are, I think, both 525 attack range champions, and Ashe is, I think, 600. So it's usually
fair.
pretty like annoying to play into long range, and Aphelios, I think, is around like somewhere like
Yeah,
575 or 600, something like that. So
yeah.
I can understand it a little bit. Some of his guns are a little bit shorter range, of course, but yeah. But no, yeah, like you said, I don't really like the Aphelios. I do think, like you were saying, TL actually outplayed T1 like pretty much the entire match in almost every way. They were playing super fast paced, which was really awesome to see, and I was super surprised. And they were very, very close to clutching out this game, but T1's team fighting in that last team fight was just a lot better, and TL was very uncoordinated in that. But the one thing I will say about TL is, or yeah, TL is that the names are so close. I keep second
I
guessing what
know,
I'm saying.
I know, I know.
Um, but yeah, TL was like very like all together. Let's do this, and if we're going
Yep,
out, we're gonna go out together, which I
yep.
do actually like. Generally speaking, a lot of Eastern teams sometimes will do that, but then they're like good enough that they can peel off and still have like two people survive a team fight sometimes. But
Yep.
uh, yeah, they just completely get wiped in that last team fight, which cost them the game, unfortunately. But it was a pretty close game
It
the
was
whole time.
way
It
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 was
was
way
very
closer
winnable.
than I thought.
Yeah.
It was way closer than I thought. It gave me hope. It gave me hope to start the day. I was like, okay, this was the game I thought we would do the worst in.
Yeah,
And we
pretty
actually
much.
we showed up pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, they had a really bad team fight in the middle of the map there.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
Because
was
they were like coming on all different sides, but
yeah.
like T1 was completely grouped together so they could do a front to back anyway, and then I think Zeus like one shot someone down here on over here. Yeah,
I
APA was like stun locked or like really far out of the fight pretty much like the whole time with the
think
Sejuani ult.
he got hit by an ash arrow from like a million miles away.
Yeah, and then Yon walks like melee, I think,
I,
and then he
do
gets Orianna
you
ulted, so it's like that's pretty hard.
Yeah, and I also think I'm not like an Aphelios expert, but I know you want the red and the white guns for team fights,
Yeah, yeah, he
and
definitely had bad guns.
he had the
Yeah.
red and the purple ones. So I think he might have messed up like the gun management at some point because I think every time you have red, you want to have the white one too.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it was just like kind of a scuffed all around fight, to be honest. But up
Yeah.
until this point, it
And I
was.
think
I
as
mean,
well, that's
look,
why
it
Carey
was.
has also gone for
They're
range
ahead
potential here
by
on the
good
Renata,
amount of
trying
gold.
Yeah,
to build
they
those
were winning this
leaders.
game pretty
Scout trying to
handedly
come forward
almost the
here.
entire
Savage
time.
finds himself a kid in that gets
But
1-3. It's
it
joined
just
in
I don't know, the team fight went really well for
Might
T1.
as well with
Obviously
Kuki.
they're
It's
really
taken down
skilled and
now.
they've been playing together for what, at least 2 years now, right?
Yep, yep,
So
yep.
they're very experienced. That's the nice thing about staying together for a long time as a team. So I'm a big fan of. Yeah, Guma just chases Summit down. Obviously, at this point the fight's pretty much over already, but still. Um, yeah, it was unfortunate, but that is how the first game went. We went a little bit deep on that one, but that's fine. um, C9 versus Mad. Um, yeah, I mean, pretty much went how we expected it to go. Of course, I think NA was kind of worried after the Golden Guardians
Sure,
series from the
sure.
qualifying series that NA was doing pretty bad, but C9 were able to clutch it out. They looked pretty dominant. I think Mad definitely had some um, decent showings, but it was a bit unfortunate for Mad Lions this year once again. And then you want to dive into that matchup any or?
I thought C9 did my favorite part. It was before the game even started. That their draft was just. I was very impressed by the C9 draft.
Oh yeah.
Um, I feel like they bamboozled Mad Lions. I quite enjoyed it
Okay.
because I think they baited. I'm pretty sure that like Mad Lions thought Cassante was going top
Mhm.
the whole time, and then they ended up sending it mid. So that was pretty good. Pretty good drafting.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this gives me confidence because they played really well in the game. Like you said, they pretty much ran the whole game,
Yeah, pretty
and the
much.
fact that they drafted well was good. It was good to see from C9.
Oh yeah, that's right. Chase's Gwyn. They actually did.
Yep.
They like hard camped him, but he was doing pretty well actually overall.
Yeah.
But
Because
yeah.
I think they first picked the Talia,
Yep. Yep.
and they were like, "Oh, that's the flex to watch out for."
Dude,
And
NA
then they
loves
picked,
that this year.
yeah, yeah. So, but then the actual flex was the Casante that they didn't expect. So it was good. It was a
Right.
good draft, and they played really well. So this giving me a lot of hope. A lot of hope going for C9.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. All right. So C9 ends up 1-0ing them. Obviously 2-1 1-0'd Team Liquid there, so they move up to the upper bracket here.
Yep,
Um,
yep, yep.
and then do you wanna? Yeah. So Genji played. Honestly, Genji looks pretty good. Obviously they were against
Yeah,
Gam, and Gam did put up a little bit of a fight, but unfortunately Genji is just a really good team. They're the number one LCK team coming to Worlds here, so definitely was pretty well played by Genji. Did you have any thoughts on that one or no? Or no?
it was that's probably one of the hardest teams that Gam could have possibly drawn.
Pretty
So
much, yeah.
it was pretty one-sided.
And
Yeah,
then JDG goes against LEC's BDS, the fourth seed from LEC, and obviously that's a pretty much a blowout.
yeah.
JDG won pretty handedly. One of these games, I think it was one of these two. I forget which one though. Was like I think a 22-minute game or something. They just like immediately. I think it was the Genji, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they won a team fight and then they're like, all right, let's just end from here.
Yeah, because the BDS one, BDS did some crazy stuff with Adam on Garen,
Hmm.
where
And then
they're like, "Yeah,
JDG
we're
dove him
doing
like
it."
3 times.
Yeah, they're like, we're doing it." And then like once they got to team fights, it was like, "Oh, but wait, you're a Garen, so what are you gonna do?"
Yeah, pretty much.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, JG wins pretty handily there. JG is looking really good once again. And then
Yep.
G2 goes up against Dam1 or D plus Kia, whatever you want to call them now. Um, and G2 looking really good, honestly. I was kind of predicting that G2 was going to win this one because Dam1's or D plus is the fourth seed from LCK this year. And even though they actually do have a really good lineup, I wasn't sure how well they'd do. And G2 is famous for taking down like T1, for instance, sometimes, and things like that. So I I had a pretty good idea that G2 was going to be able to win this, but they like kind of slapped D plus here. You have any thoughts about this one?
This was like
It wasn't. It was
I
somewhat close, but like
I thought
G2 won pretty handedly.
There's been like a lot of hype around G2, but this definitely gave me some confidence that it might be like deserved hype.
Yeah, definitely.
Because yeah, I mean like even if Damon's or D plus is the 4 seed, like it's still an LCK team. So
Yeah, exactly.
to beat them is still a big deal. So yeah, definitely the C9 game gave me hope for NA, but this one was like, okay, G2 could actually like make a pretty deep run. So it was good. It was good to see.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I still think DK has a good chance getting somewhere this Worlds, but I would not say they're in contention for winning the whole thing. But I think G2 actually does have a small chance. But yeah, like you
Yeah.
said, I'm never usually very hyped on G2, but I think they are looking pretty good this year, surprisingly. So yeah. Anyways, and we got Weibo versus NRG. I'll be honest, when I was doing pick'ems, I did not know Weibo's roster. I should have looked that up beforehand. Uh, once I've heard it was Xiaohu and the Shy,
Yeah.
that was all you had
Yeah.
to tell me, and I knew it was going to be a good team.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
um, yeah, they played really well. Obviously, that's not just the whole. That's only two of their players. If you look at the rest of the roster, it's
Right. There's some
still
it's some
stacked.
field. Yep.
It is, yeah. This team is kind of crazy. Let me just go through the champ select real fast. But you have any thoughts on this one?
This one, if I was like pleasantly surprised by the TL game, I was pretty sad about because I was kind of up on NRG, but
Yeah,
um, I thought this was another one where I thought it was really weird because they they actually could have picked Kaisa, or yeah, they could have picked Kaisa, um, because I'm pretty sure Weibo didn't first pick it. I think they like first picked, yeah, Poppy.
Poppy, I think. Yeah. Hmm.
and they had already banned Zaya. So I was like, okay, obviously you picked the Kaisa here, but they didn't do it, which felt weird to me. And then they picked a Callista, which I think
Bro.
is bad into Poppy.
Yeah, it is.
And then they banned a Blitzcrank, which I think is bad into Callista. So it just felt like really weird to me overall. I don't think Blitzcrank
Yeah.
likes to play into Callista. So the draft felt really you know what it felt like? It felt like energy was like super like nervous. I don't think they like played like themselves here. And then plus the fact that Weibo's just like you said has really good players.
Yeah,
Um
so on top of Shahu and the Shy, obviously really
yeah,
good. They have Wei for the jungle, which is a pretty decent jungler. I wouldn't say he's like the best in the world or anything, but he's
yeah,
pretty up
he's
there.
definitely solid.
Yeah, and then Light, you've seen him a few times before. He's pretty good. And then Crisp is a pretty famous support from the LPL. Um, yeah, they play like you said. The draft was pretty interesting. I think teams are like really big on picking Poppy against NA so far this year,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
seems to counter a lot of what we're doing. But yeah, I don't. I know there's a 100% pick ban I think on Kalista this world so far, at least in the first day, maybe not in the second day, um, and I don't think it's that good. Every time I've seen it, I think it's been
Yeah.
pretty trash. Maybe
Same.
like one or two games, but yeah, overall it's definitely has a lot of downsides. I'll not go deep into the Callista unless you guys want me to, but um, there's a lot of reasons why I don't think Callista is very good, especially into a lot of the current ADCs that are good right now. So, or just teams in general. Like she has to stack up her spears to do anything, which takes a long time, and this is a very fast-paced game right now. Um,
Yeah. So uh yeah, I don't know. I was really worried from the draft and then they just didn't play very well. So
yep.
um I might have been a little more hype with TL, but I was definitely super down on NRG after this one.
Yes, same. Like you said, the Poppy, he has one dash, two dash, if you count
Yeah,
his Q, three dash, four dash. So
yeah, yeah. I was like, what would we do? And
it's
then
like we're
I'm like,
picking
you banned
dashes
the.
into it. So I don't know.
I'm like, why do we ban the Blitzcrank when I think like one of Blitzcrank's worst matchups is Callista, and also like if you hook Alistar, like what is that? Alistar's probably fine with that, right? So
Yeah, pretty much,
yeah,
pretty much.
it was just weird,
Um,
weird draft, and then it was just like they played very weird.
yeah,
So it was a recipe for getting stomped, pretty
yeah, it was
much.
quite unfortunate from our number one seed. Leona was quite
Yes.
a good pick actually here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It worked very well for them as well. And Azir has been like pretty much the best from LCK and LPL this year. So
Yep. 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 Yep.
it's a pretty scary one overall. Either way, let's get back to the Swiss stage. So that was the Weibo 1-0 RNG, which makes RNG go down here. Weibo goes up. And then LNG versus Fnatic. Do you have any quick thoughts on this one?
I think LNG is just like a solid, very solid team.
Yeah.
They're not like the flashiest team, but they don't tend to make a lot of mistakes. So I think it would be really hard for a um like European, maybe G2 could beat them, but I don't think like
Yeah.
an NA team or a weaker EU team could really beat them because I don't feel like they ever take like risks ever.
Yeah.
So it's like some of these teams that are theoretically better than LNG will do some like kind of crazy stuff sometimes. So it's like, okay, maybe we could punish it, but LNG just always feels like they never do anything crazy. And yeah, they just, you know, took care of Fnatic.
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much went how we expected. We did think this game was going to be pretty somewhat close, but Fnatic wasn't able to really show up very well in this matchup. LNG did really well. Scout went deathless on their side. Unkillable Demon King right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting. He went like 11-0 or something, I think, that game. And then BLG going up against KT was pretty spicy. Very hard to predict this one, but BLG ends up taking out KT here. So, any thoughts on that one, or?
Um, well, I thought KT was going to win it, but BLG is a really good team. So,
Yeah,
I actually, I thought this could be like, I thought this was a true like coin flip, like 50-50.
pretty much. Yeah,
So
beforehand.
Yeah, I'm not like shocked at because BLG is super good too, so I wasn't shocked.
Yeah. I think I was questionable about whether BLG was going to be able to show up this Worlds and how well they would continue to be from MSI, and they actually really played super well that match. So
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
very well done by them.
they did.
So
They did.
moving on, we'll go to the 1-0s and then go to the 0-1s. I have not seen all the games of day two yet, only the NA games so far,
Same,
but
same. So
yeah,
yeah,
looks like we did see the C9 versus LNG. LNG ends up taking out C9 here, unfortunately. It was a pretty slow game for most of the game. I think they were like one kill on either side till like minute 17 or something. Then it started popping off a little bit. So,
I had two notes for this one. Why, oh, why did we give them Jax? Because
yeah.
Zika just kind of ran us over with. I think that he was hitting like 3-man counter strikes. Like I
Yep.
was like, what is happening? And then my other note was I actually put it two times. Why didn't we draft Poppy? And then I put it again. Why didn't we draft Poppy? I I still don't have an answer why we didn't draft Poppy.
Yeah, they obviously we first picked, sorry, Kaisa after banning
I
Xayah,
was happy with that. I was
which is
happy with that.
yeah, it's somewhat fine, but like you said, um, well, for one, in my opinion, where we've been to Callista,
Yeah, that's kind
two,
of weird.
if you're not banning Jackson, it's pretty obvious that any LCK or LPL team will take it.
Yeah,
Maybe not every match, but it's a very strong pick. It's one of the best in top lane right now, if
yeah.
not the best. And
I would have rather Jax ban than Kalista, but I do like the 80 because Gala is like the best Kaisa in the world.
that's
So
fair, yeah, yeah.
it was kind of like a takeaway, and we took Xayah out. So I was like, okay, this is going well so far.
Yeah, I mean that's very fair. And devil's advocate, I'll just say if we did give him the Kaisa and we took the Xayah, which technically Xayah does
Yep,
counter Kaisa.
yep.
Of course, it can depend on whether you're good enough with Kaisa and stuff like that. But um, yeah, I think giving them Jax is pretty bad, like you're saying here. And then they take Lee Sin, which has also been a pretty big pick. Pioshik has shown, like you said in the first day, that pick is pretty disgusting right now. They take the Alistar, which has been pretty high priority.
But already I was like, you know what? Poppy could be pretty good here.
Yeah, yeah, that's very true.
Like
Um,
already I was thinking, I'm like, oh, this is a good Poppy. This is a good Poppy pick.
for sure.
It'll mess up the Lee Sin. Alistar doesn't like Poppy.
Rakan kind of makes sense, but it's not great into those two picks particularly, but it is high priority right now.
So they do the
And
Sejuani.
NA really likes the Sejuani this year, at World it seems, which it's not bad. It's not really bad. It actually did pretty well this match overall. And then they take the Azir, of course, which has been very good for NA or LCK and LPL. And then they do a couple more bans here. It makes sense. We ban the Poppy, interestingly enough.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, what?
Uh,
Which I mean, okay, I guess it,
I guess if we're not picking it, maybe.
but tell me, like when as you see all their entire team, like would Poppy not have just been the best
Yeah, the
against them?
Cassante ban is pretty questionable here, I think, instead of the Jax, if we're not going to take Jax,
Yep,
which we can't because they get the first pick on the second round.
yep.
So, and then I don't understand the Renekton pick into Jax because Renekton is really bad into Jax, and I think somewhat bad into Cassante maybe as well, which is probably why they banned the Cassante. But I don't see the point of picking it because right now you have early to mid game, somewhat early game, a little bit late game, and this is like kind of overall fine. This is kind of like falls off late game. This is super late game, super late game. Obviously, they're good in mid and sometimes early as well. Um, and then this is like early, mid, somewhat late, and then uh, Alistar doesn't really matter too much. He falls off late pretty hard. But yeah, overall they have a lot better scaling, and which is also I was wondering why we are slowing this game down and not pressing really early our advantages.
is one
Yeah.
pretty prevalent.
It was
Gaming, very divey from the
And then we
beginning.
get the
Not saying
Syndra. I'm
Syndra's
fine
this
with that. I'm not
aggressive pick, but
too
they
worried about
still
it,
pick for
although
disengage. You have Alistar not back
into
for
Azir is
disengage.
maybe
You
not the
have
best because
Azir off for
Syndra's very
disengage. You
immobile,
have Tristana and
and
Busterchef for
Azir
disengage.
has the
Right? Like,
shuffle
very
into the
clearly,
ultimate,
I
which can
think
kind of just
LNG
screw
will
her
play
pretty
this to
hard.
kite back. Sure, if there's a great opportunity, they
I
can
was
dive it in and try to
surprised
one
Gala
shot
picked a
someone, but they
Tristana
don't have to. I
ADC.
think that's kind
Usually
of the
we've been
beauty of
seeing
their
it mid
draft.
for the last few
I
years.
know.
The
When's the
way they
last time we
drafted, you know,
saw
even
an
nameplates off,
ADC?
much
But
like with Cloud and
it,
Navi.
I think
it
they
worked
might have
out.
been
Turn
one
the
in
upgrades
like a
on, and
Golden
because
Guardians
being
game in
scared of this
spring,
LNG
but
is
it's been a
such a
while
stable team. You know,
when they
they're
were doing
not
all the
always one of
flexing.
those LPL teams that's drawn into
Yeah.
the chaos.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I
But
think that Cloud9's
yeah,
draft
it's
really
fine
needs
as
that
long as you're
raw
not
energy.
like
They need to be
jumping
scrappy,
it,
especially
like
on that top
WEing
side.
like off
When you're
cooldown.
looking at, you know,
It's
Renekton,
not too
it's like,
bad.
what do you want him to
And
make
they,
with this
like we
map? I
said,
just
this
don't
game
know
was
if
pretty
LNG is
slow,
going to
so
bite.
it
But
wasn't
to say,
that
no, I
case
mean, that
that time.
first riding pod is
And
good, and
then
it's taken
yeah,
some
that's
of the
pretty
fan
much
fans
it
to really
from
bring
that.
down
So like,
LNG.
it's a pretty
JDG with this
rough
raw
draft for
mindset
C9, but I
approach,
mean it
and
could
team
be worse
fighting,
for
and
sure.
it just gets all around team fighting
But
as well.
Could be
yeah.
better with a
That's
Poppy.
what they
Yeah, very much. So, anyways, LNG ends up winning that one, unfortunately for C9. Um, then we go on. We got Jinji versus T1. It looks like Jinji ends up beating T1, which is makes sense from the region's perspective. We got a
Yep.
lot of NA versus NA, EU versus EU, T1 or LCK versus LCK, and LPL versus LPL on this
Yeah.
second day.
Some rematches from the region. So the same with JDG BLG. Like that was a rematch as well. So
Yeah. Uh,
they kind of went as they have been going.
Definitely. Like you said, JG beats BLG, makes sense. One versus two beats the first seed beats the second. Excuse me. Sorry. And then G2 ends up 1-0ing Weibo, which is not super surprising, but well played by G2. I did not see that game yet, like we said, but
Yeah.
they end up moving up. That means LNG,
If
Genji, G2, and JDG are all 2-0 now.
if they win their next, well, obviously if they win, because now G2 will play a best of three.
True.
But it's like I think was the draw. I think they have to play. Did you see who they play out of that group?
I think no, I have not actually. I was gonna watch that with you tonight. I think
Okay.
there's a yeah, I
Okay.
think
Yeah. I think
there's a
it's at
draw
the
show at
end.
the end here.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, like you said, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I was just gonna say, regardless of like which of those three teams with G2 that they play in the best of three,
Mhm.
if they manage to beat one of them in a best of three, then I'll really get hype because
Yeah, I think they
um,
have very good chance against LNG or Genji, and maybe a small chance for say
yeah,
JDG.
yeah, but it'll be very impressive. Like Weibo beating Weibo and beating D plus is still impressive, but it's
Both four seeds,
I
yeah.
definitely could see it happening. But yeah, if they can beat LNG, Genji, or JDG, that'll be super hype.
Yeah, we got a what, three one seeds and then a third seed actually.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and then NRG ends up beating TL in that matchup. You have any notes on this one?
So I think I have a theory that Yon can't play Zaya or Kaisa, or just doesn't want to. So that's what I was gonna bring back up because he had a chance to pick both of them again in this one,
Mm,
and I think he did the Callista again, or no, he did a Callista this time. So I'm not sure why he doesn't want to play those two. And then the other thing I thought was cool was I've been hearing rumors that Senna, like fasting Senna, is very strong again,
mm.
but we got to
Yeah,
see Energy bust out the fasting Senna Tom Kench lane, and it looked pretty good.
true.
So
Yeah,
um,
I'm not gonna go too deep on this one because it's a NA
yeah,
versus NA, and
sure,
obviously the
sure.
first seed beat the third seed, but
Yep.
yeah, Energy 1-0s them. They looked pretty good. TL didn't look as good as the first day, of course, which is a bit
But Energy
unfortunate.
looked better than the first day. So
Yeah,
cool.
100%. So I think this is fine. Like we said, a lot of these mirror, like not mirror matchups, but same region matchups are kind of good and bad because it means you're guaranteed to get that 2-0 team to go through, but at the same time you are gonna have a couple 0-2 teams, which is pretty unfortunate. Um,
Yup.
but yeah, Mad ends up beating BDS, which is not super surprising at all. I think that's the second. Is that the second seed from LEC?
Fnatic.
Oh no, Fnatic is. I think. I think
Yeah.
Mad was the third. So third
Yeah.
seed beats fourth seed. That makes sense. And then Fnatic end up beating GAM, which is unfortunate for GAM once again, but it's somewhat expected, sadly.
Yeah.
And then DK versus KT, I think was probably going to be pretty close, but it looks like KT ends up beating DK, which is unfortunate for DK because now they are 0-2.
Yep,
So
they're up against everything they play now is an elimination game. So,
yeah, pretty much.
yep.
But I think they are probably the best seed out of all of
Oh,
these
for
teams
sure.
here.
For sure. I think they should beat any of those three teams.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and see the draw show here. I'm not sure how far away it is exactly. Should be pretty soon.
There's that guy. They're setting it up.
Oh yeah, perfect. There we go. We
People,
got the bags.
people hate that ref because he drew all the
The same regions.
regions.
Looks like we
Yeah.
got to
Region
draw.
versus region.
Yeah, people were
Action
not
cast
psyched about that,
as well.
but
I mean,
honestly, I feel like
Yeah.
it's whatever.
In those little bags.
Yeah. It's not too big of a deal, but it was a little bit sad to see. But at the end, it's not really going to matter too much.
I'd rather see region versus region in the best of ones than region versus region in like the
Knockouts,
elimination.
yeah,
Knockouts,
for
so.
sure.
Definitely so.
I
Today's
wasn't
games they
too-
resulted
I wasn't
in
too-
4
too
teams
sad.
being divided into those with 2 wins and 0 losses, a 2-0 pool, with 1 win and 1 loss,
Can
the
you hear
1-1
okay?
pool, and
Yeah.
those with 0 wins and 2 losses, the 0-2 pool. The draw will
Yeah,
determine
get
the
that
matchups
HD
between teams with the
quality.
same number of
Let's
wins.
go.
The first
Illuminated
draw will be
word
between
looks
0 pool
pretty,
and second
low
draw
res.
will be
Yeah,
between
this
1
is
pool
where
and the last draw
so this is where
will be
Swiss really
0-2
gets.
pool. Reminder for viewers that
If
the
you've
match
never watched like
order
a
for
Swiss
tomorrow's
tournament, yeah,
games
it
will
gets
not be decided
interesting because
before later
now the
today. And,
elimination
we were a little confused yesterday, but today
best
we
of
know
threes
the
start to
opponents are
come
drawn
in.
immediately. So whatever
Yeah,
first team gets
for
drawn,
sure.
So
the
it's
opponent
the
right
stakes
after
are
that.
definitely
For
definitely
both
higher.
the 2-0 and the 0-2 group, the first draw decides the second draw, right? Because
Right,
if
yeah.
we do get
And you really
into
get the
LNG,
boost for winning
GDG,
your
we
first two
already know
games
it's gonna
because
be
even
G2
if you
versus
lose
Gen G and so
your
on and so
best of
forth.
3 to
So,
qualify,
for both of those, that first draw shows
kind of
us
get
the whole thing.
multiple
Exactly.
chances
I
at
think
it
G2
since you
Yeah,
won
for sure.
probably
the
looking
first
at
two.
you want
So
the LNG pick.
yeah,
Yes.
it's pretty
You
good.
get
Cloud9 was really close,
at
and
least
then-
like
The
3 more
cheers for
chances,
the
right?
head ref.
Because if
They
you
were
lose
Yeah.
the first best of 3, you'll drop
so
down,
stoic.
and then you'll get another chance, and then if you mess that
If
up,
you
you
lose that
drop
one, you
down.
should have the final
They're
best
here
of
to
3,
do a
which will
job,
decide
and I
whether
don't
you
care
win or
what you're
lose.
all thinking
Exactly,
and what you're
so-
all gonna say.
There's no
It really does.
So, I think
That's why
at
like
least going
G2 should
into
be
this very
pretty
first one,
happy because it really
yeah,
does
maybe
like
you would say for a G2
It's very
give you a
forgiving.
big
There's no easy
advantage
matchups
if
there.
you,
You know, these
you
are
win
the
the
best
first two
teams in the
games.
tournament so far.
Exactly. Well, and honestly, they were the top
All
3
right.
that pretty much everyone I talked to coming into the tournament.
So this one doesn't
right?
matter.
I got
This
a
is,
JDG,
but
Gen
the
G,
next one
LNG
will
in
matter.
that
The next one will
Those
matter
are the
a lot.
tournament favorites that you think can win the whole. Who can win in this round? That's
Hey.
a lot. We see next will be their
All right, are
opponent.
they going to
Their
be
first
doing
possible
this first
chance
team
to
versus second
qualify
team, or are
out
they
of
going to be
this
doing
stage in
I think
uh,
this
the
is
next one, and
just
it
drawing the
is-
first teams and then drawing
I
the
think
second
this is
teams?
Have a guess,
who
have a gander.
JDG. It's JDG.
I think that's who G2 plays.
Okay.
So
I'm trying to remember
that's
if
not
we
the
saw this at
best,
MSI
but
or
not the
because I'm so
worst, I would say,
running
Yeah, for
low
sure.
right now.
if
Are
you're a
we?
G2 fan.
I can't remember. I can't remember.
12 hours.
I think that's fine. I think they
next up
won
we have
LNG
JDG
probably,
LNG.
but
Yeah.
I don't think it's the worst thing to pick G.
No, I
Gen
think
G
you
for
don't
sure.
want
Best of 5 that win
JDG,
all
so
5
I
games
guess you'll
between
settle
JDG
for
and LNG.
Yes.
JDG won both, but both go.
Let's see if that's how they're doing it.
They were so close in so many
Yeah,
of them.
true. I
There
guess
were
that could be
comebacks in these.
To
excellent.
do
They
something
haven't shown
huge.
yet.
think
So
people
we
are
got
looking at
JDG.
JDG
Okay, yeah,
clear
it is what
favorite,
you said. Yep.
Despite how close their series were.
Yeah,
Okay.
not the
You know,
best,
you
not
do
the
have to
worst.
give the
So I think quick projections here. What do you think of the first match?
I'm pretty sure Gen G wins and JDG wins, but
Okay.
I could see G2 beating Gen G. I wouldn't
Yeah,
be completely
Just to be
surprised.
contrarian, I'll say G2 JDG.
Okay, like it.
to JDG.
All right, and let's get on to the next ones.
And actually, honestly, LNG almost beat JDG in LPL finals,
The
so
reaction cams were my
Fair.
favorite part of
They were
yesterday.
amazing.
you
Yeah.
never
I
know.
mean, the Korean fans were really excited seeing that G2 draw for Gen G, so maybe they're praying for G2. I don't
So
know.
this'll
G2's probably
be-
praying for LNG, but
Everyone's
you know,
probably praying for G2 actually. I'm not-
these
this
are
is-
not
this is a really
elimination
tough
or
match,
qualification
by the way,
games
and now
now,
we're
I
gonna
don't
be moving
think. These
into
are
the
just
one
still
and one
best of ones.
Oh,
Yeah,
this
these
is
are the
exciting.
1-to-1
Total
teams, I
team
Yeah.
draw
believe.
here.
Yep.
Energy.
Yep, yeah, because energy
Alright.
has
Come on
is
to
one
you,
point,
come
so
on to you.
Rip the band-aid off.
energy
Come on,
will
let's go.
play
Let's go. And they're thinking, no.
Would you be happy or sad if it was NA versus NA?
Yeah, like you said, these are gonna be the best of ones leading into tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow rather.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
Show me Mad Lions.
that'll
Show me.
determine whether they go 1-2 or 2-1, and then that'll be
Okay.
their best of threes.
That's pretty good.
Called it.
That's pretty good.
We want those teams.
Yes.
We want them.
Also,
I literally made a handshake deal with Vedius earlier today. We have footage of it on camera.
it's true.
When we promised
Maybe
for
we
this.
can get it
Well,
later.
The Korean fans and the Chinese fans, they don't want BLG versus
think,
KT
uh,
again.
No, they
That's
don't.
such a hard matchup.
I think NRG can beat Mad Lions. They should definitely be able to beat them.
Now
Yeah,
everyone's
I
gonna be
think
thinking,
I think there's a
ours
good
are-
chance,
I'll pass
but
on
we'll
that
see
one.
what
Yeah, for
energy
sure.
shows up.
Give me a-
Yeah, if they play like day 2, then I'm confident. If they play like day 1, then
Momentum's unfazed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I love
it's
it.
probably closer of a match
Yes,
than the
I'm getting
C9
the
one.
job done, and it is.
yeah, I agree.
This is
Oof.
such a classic matchup.
It is.
Always
All right,
seems to
well.
lose to T1, but at Worlds,
We have to
T1
beat
never
T1.
loses.
It's really happy.
That's unfortunate.
That's a toughie.
Study with T1 on the academy team.
What a
Kind of hype for,
historical
yeah, they're
Worlds
talking
matchup.
about it in the
It is,
background.
it is.
Berserker was
But
on
really
T1
tough now
Academy.
for
True.
T1.
Yeah,
I mean,
they played
That's
I think
the
last
hype
year
for
as
it.
well.
Yeah, kind of a
narrowly,
hype.
you know, missed out on
But Team
beating.
Liquid narrowly almost won versus
The
T1.
Shy
Yeah,
and
it's
Xiaohu
Anyway,
will
next
play.
up, Weibo.
We got Weibo. Weibo has been looking good. They almost took down G2 and they crushed
What
the
are they
first
saying?
game.
I don't want BLG here. I don't want to.
Ooh,
Weibo
okay.
versus KT, okay.
Okay.
That's a
At least
tough
they're not
one.
the
'cause
same
they're
region.
both, like
That's a banger
pretty
match.
good
Wait, but does
teams.
that mean-
Yeah.
So it's crazy
We
that
get
one of them
LS
is gonna
we get,
drop
sorry,
into elimination, but
BLG.
Yeah.
it was gonna happen.
BLG is left.
BLG
Sooner or
and
later.
Fnatic.
Yeah,
That's it.
Fnatic.
That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But
um,
whoever gets them in the next, like in the best of 3 is gonna be. That's
We
tough.
got T1, so it's not looking
Yeah,
that much
honestly,
Alright,
we got
who does
each other,
BLG face?
one other than
Next
each
up.
other.
Last team of the
But it's a big
1-on-ones.
jump up for
Fnatic,
Oh,
of course.
right,
Yeah,
versus
yeah.
Fnatic.
Fnatic had
Okay.
you know, pretty one-sided loss in their first game. They did handle Rise to
That's
the
fine.
occasion.
Okay. Top to bottom, what do you think?
I'm gonna say I think NRG. They feel like a streaky team, so I'm actually glad that they had their kind of better game second. So I'm hoping they ride the momentum. And
Fair.
They beat Mad. As much as I would love to say C9 takes this, I'm pretty sure T1 will win.
Yep.
Although T1 didn't look that good against TL, and I think C9 is like significantly better than TL. So, you never know. I
You would
guess.
think so.
Yeah,
You would think so.
You would think so, right? um, uh, I really like KT, but they already burned me, so I'm gonna go Weibo on that one, and then BLG. So yeah, NRG, T1, Weibo, and BLG is my predictions.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I think I'm Hopium, of course, but I think NRG will beat Mad. And
Yeah.
then I think, unfortunately for C9, I think T1 has always gotten the better of them, and I don't think C9 is looking good enough this year, so we'll see. We can hope, but T1 should take that one. And then I actually think KT can beat Weibo,
I think they can, yeah, but
but it is going to be very close, like you're saying. And Weibo definitely has a chance. And then I have to agree, Billy is definitely going to take out Fnatic, unfortunately, for Fnatic.
yo.
Especially for Oscar.
Left side beats right side, that's my answer.
Make it simple.
Uh,
So now we're gonna see the last section they have to draw. These are best of 3s, but this is for if you lose, you go home at this point. So
Yeah,
um,
we're at high stakes right here.
so
And they all
T-
are, but
so TL definitely doesn't want.
Redemption, the final season.
They
Damn
want
one.
they want GAM, right? TL wants GAM.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
we do not draw TL next. That would be bad.
BDS is down there and GAM is down there. You
BDS goes against Dim One. Come on.
Sorry BDS, but
that it's not you right now.
your time in the tournament is over.
Come on, Kobe, not TL, not TL, not TL.
Hey, let's go! Nice, we got Gam.
Okay.
Yeah, so okay, if we can't beat GAM, then we deserve to get.
All right, T-Hell has a chance.
This has happened to us a lot of times.
This is a
Yeah,
We already know what this is gonna be.
Yeah,
TL,
TL
and then
into GAM, best of 3.
play their own
losers
style. I think it's
here will
BDS.
get
I would
eliminated,
also say though,
and
if
the
there's
winners will
a player on your team
play another
that
best of
can
3 to
keep
see
the
if they stay
morale
in.
high even
Yeah.
when you're losing,
You
it's
agree
gotta be
left
Dim
side
for
beats
sure.
right side?
Left
I
side,
feel
I'd
like
go
that
left
could
side.
Alright.
be
Damn one
what
takes
makes
over
you be able to keep
BDS,
it.
and then TL will take GAM most likely.
The lower, well, the 0-2 to 2
Honestly
is
though,
possible.
what
We're
if
getting into
TL
the
took
bracket stage. I can
had to
see
go
a
against
road.
For which
Dim
one?
one?
B+?
Then
Yeah,
you know
and
they
I
looked
think for
pretty
BDS
good
also,
against
like, they were in a
T1,
situation
so
where they went
True.
through
that's
the
2
Worlds
seeds
qualifying
lower.
series to the
True,
play-in
true,
for
true, true, true.
felt a more difficult
But yeah,
and
this
they
is
like
went
a
I
through
better
it.
like
chance,
it.
I would say.
You know,
I
in
still
time,
think
to be
GAM has a
expected,
chance,
and they were
but
always going to be up against
They do,
Talon, and
especially. Well,
I
yeah, they
take
do.
a
They
crack
they,
at
they do
it.
have a chance. I think GAM has a better chance of beating TL than BDS has of beating D plus.
yeah, for sure. All right, and then just in case you were not aware of how the schedule is going on for the next couple of days, it's going to be the 2-0 teams going up against each other uh, pretty much tonight at like 1 a.m. or no, 3 a.m. Okay, never mind. So it would be tomorrow's morning at
Yep.
3 a.m. Um, and then the day after that, we're gonna have all the best of ones for the 1-1 teams, and then the
So
day
if
after
you're
that,
looking for NA teams, you can just ignore the first grouping because we're not there yet. But
yeah, exactly,
we'll get some
exactly.
we'll get some good matches in the second grouping here. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll try to get a video out to you probably Sunday sometime,
Yeah.
and then probably get you one Monday at some time as well, if possible. Otherwise, we'll have to combine them together, depending on what happens. But after that, we're going to go into more best of threes, best of three, best of threes, and there's best of threes all the way up until I think November. Yeah. And then November starts best of five quarterfinals, I believe.
Yep. 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 Yep.
And then
Single
culminating on
elimination
November 19th.
quarterfinals. Yeah.
Everything's in AM though.
I know. I know.
All right. Thank you all for watching. Any final thoughts, Drew?
No, this, like I said, this is a part of Swiss that gets exciting. So
Yeah,
looking forward to seeing some BO3s.
for sure. Tune in for sure, and thank you all for watching once again. We'll catch you on the other side. Peace.